Darlings, it's Mummy, Sybil Brunchen. I had to take a break from closing up my house. This is not my house, by the way. This is one of the oldest houses in the Grove and maybe one of the oldest houses in the entire island of all 17 towns. Look at this. This is called, can you see what the sign says? It says it's the Cracker Box Palace. We've been expecting you. Isn't that sweet? And look, expecting you. Um, this is an original kit house. This has been owned by the same family for like 70 years. I can't even describe it on the inside. These houses were, you ordered them through a Sears catalog, or a catalog of some sort. Sears built some of these houses, and they would send them over in pieces, and then you hired local construction people to make them and to put them up. And this house originally not only didn't have electricity, it didn't even have gas. You literally had kerosene lamps, and that was of course, no telephone. And they were very sweet. And a shower was, first of all, you drilled down, and you dug a well, and you pumped your water. And your outdoor shower, was a bucket with nail holes in it. And you took one bucket and you poured the water in, and then you quickly jumped underneath and you lathered up and you soaped, and that was it. And of course, the bathroom, in the very, very early days, and when there was not even outhouses, you just went outdoors and then washed up afterwards. It's graphic. And then if you were lucky, you had an outhouse, and then you eventually got indoor plumbing, which was, a step in the right direction. You can see the sunlight is in there somewhat. I mean, it's just beautiful. They've got jadeite dishes there on the counter. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty house. Look at that. Can you see inside there? Can you see? Let me see if I can. I mean, this house has been closed up. Look, they've got enamelware, and they've got some jadeite there on the table, on the counter. That's the kitchen. It's just an enchanting house. And then you've got old houses. This across the way is a very old house, but which has been redone. And people name their houses. There's Cary Grove, and so people name their houses. There's another one that's over there that's very old. The Grove is full of old houses. The gem of the gems, the one that Mummy would buy if she could win the lottery. I would buy the whole block here, but this one is called Pride House, and this is Pride House. It is just so sweet. When this garden is green and everything, it is absolutely beautiful. You've seen it in other Tour-ettes of mine. I've shown it for ages, and I love it so much. It just is so full of atmosphere. And there's another entrance down here. Look at this. This is the Cracker Box land. They've got a whole lot here. And this is called the Bridge of Sighs, which is a bridge that goes over a ravine. Let me see if I can show this to you properly. There's the Cracker Box over there. See, and there's Pride House. And this is Beach Walk. Look at this. I love this house. This house is very exposed to the water. This is right down on the water. I adore this house. I love the atmosphere of it. I love the decks and everything. I can't believe they leave the furniture out over the winter, though. Oh my God, that wicker furniture, they should take it all in. It would last 10 years longer, 20 years longer if they wouldn't leave it out in the winter. But look how beautiful, and look at that. Look at the staircase going up to the roof. Talk about a view, and that behind them is the bay. This house, look at this door. Isn't this gate enchanting? It's so sweet. This is called, it's got two names. It's the Place Pigalle, and it's also called the Rue de la Paix. It's very sweet. The antique doors. I love that they put these antique doors out here. And look at the old propeller from a plane. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, they probably found that on the beach and decided to mount it there. So this is, these walks are completely quiet today. And it feels like it's late afternoon, but it's actually only 1 in the afternoon right now. This ravine, the rumor is that during the huge hurricane of 1938, This was one of the places where the island was cut by the water. So I've been told by old salts out here that the water came in here the way it has cut different parts of the island, the way Hurricane Sandy did, and it cut in here and came here and then stopped. And this dune managed to stop it. And well, none of these trees are, well, that tree could be 70 years old, but the rest of them certainly, well, up there, maybe. Anyway, these trees stopped it, and this dune was like this, but this cut, this ravine was here, and so what people did was they built this bridge over it, and this is called the Bridge of Sighs. It's very sweet. And it, darling, shh, don't tell anyone. It's just between you and me. This is where people would come very late at night and have sex on the Bridge of Sighs. So nice young boys would come down here and meet each other in the dark, and they would say, "Meet me at the Bridge of Sighs." And of course, the sighs. It's a triple entendre, doesn't it? Not just a double entendre, it's a triple entendre. Oh, Mummy adores those. I simply adore them, I must tell you. The Bridge of Sighs. Well, I couldn't laugh harder. Anyway, there's Pride House. And you want to see what's so sweet about Pride House? There's Pride House. Let me see. I really have to get a gimbal so that my camera work isn't so jiggly. And there's the wonderful sunroom in the back. Can you see the sunroom through the trees? And then there's another deck back there. It's just wonderful. And there's their other entrance. But look, Pride House, right? And there's the sign, Pride House. This is the other entrance, the back entrance. And you can see more of the house back there. And what's over here? What would be wonderful with Pride House, this bamboo is ridiculous. People have to be so careful about planting bamboo. It's just ridiculous. This house, this little house next door, is called Prejudice. Aren't gay people so witty? They're so clever. Pride and Prejudice. It's very sweet. This house is about half the size of Pride House. It's got a lovely deck there and one downstairs, and a little pergola here that's covered. You could see the plastic over it. This is the back of that house, the Rue de la Paix. You can see how big it is. It's a corner house, and it keeps on going. Anyway, I wanted to show you those things because I want you to see and there's the bay right there. And Fire Island people and non-Fire Island people, but especially Grove people, you can see how high the water is right now. Look how high that water is. That's terrifying. For people here, and there's no storm, it's just a little breezy, but that is significant. Can you see the water breaking, the waves breaking? Yeah, see, that's not good. That is not good at all. That is a very, very, very scary thing to have the water doing that. It only takes a little bit of a storm and a little bit of a high tide, and suddenly that water is breaking over this walk and coming up under these houses. And this house has been completely redone. This is quite imposing. This is why climate change. People on these barrier islands here, like Fire Island is Barrier Island, down in North Carolina, we think about this stuff. The Keys, the Florida Keys, are at sea level. This is very, very risky. This is nothing today. Nothing. When Mummy first started coming to Fire Island, there was nothing like this. This wasn't breaking there. First of all, the bay sand was out farther. It was much farther out than that. The water wasn't breaking into these people's backyards. So anyway, enough about that. I can't be grim. I just can't. So I wanted to take you for a little walk and show you all of this. And this is quite lovely, I think. So look at this. This house is called Over the Rainbow. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Someone famous lives there. But I shan't reveal her name, even though she's a famous comedian, and she's on HBO all the time, and she's very, very she's very significant and very witty, and very naughty, but Mummy won't reveal her name because I don't want to compromise her privacy. But you can see her house back in there. As I said, bamboo became a fashion to plant out here, and it's destroying the environment. Mummy likes plants and everything, but bamboo is highly invasive and is literally strangling everything else. So please resist planting it in your yard. We don't have any pandas here eating it and keeping it trimmed. It just is swallowing up everything. It has swallowed up whole sections of the pines next door, the town next door. Alrighty, I'm off for a stroll and then back to my house to finish up my work. So I will talk to you all later.